Welcome back.
Welcome back yet again to another episode of
We Are Just Haters.
Theater Podcast.
Pew, 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 pew. And this week we are coming back to the National Theatre to watch A Tupperware of Ashes by Tanika Gupta.
Yes. We did know what we were going into. I mean, based on the description. It's a story about grief and dementia, essentially, and Alzheimer's. And
yeah, I didn't because I haven't read what it was about.
Oh, I just read the description on the website.
Yeah,
and it's a new play.
It's a new play.
But anyway, listen to us on the day of. Yes. Yes. All right, let's go back in time.
Go back in time.
Oh, hey. Welcome to the National Theatre.
Again. When was the last time we were here? Oh, yeah, London Tide.
Oh, no, let's not talk about it. It's the most traumatic experience of my life.
Yeah.
And then I haven't been since because it traumatized me.
I mean, it was awful. It was awful, so that's totally understandable.
Yeah. National is not...
It could be a hit or miss.
Mostly miss to me, honestly.
I mean, I agree with that statement. The last good thing I saw here was... it was in the Dorfman.
Number was good. Was the number effect? I forgot.
A number was at the Old Vic.
Oh yeah, shit.
Effect was here. Yes.
Was fine.
Last good thing I saw here was freaking Alice Childress play, Trouble in Mind. Yes, which is an American play, by the way. But
was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
Right.
Yeah, it was good.
Ooh.
But we're seeing Tupperware of Ashes by Tanika Gupta.
Yeah, should we slowly walk downstairs?
Walk and talk.
We'll do walk and talk.
Good evening and welcome to the National
my
Theatre.
God.
This evening's performance of A Tupperware of Ashes will begin in 3 minutes.
Well, I have high hopes for this because
I also have high hopes.
Because Tanika Gupta is
freaking amazing.
Is great playwright, one of the British OGs. So hopefully it's gonna be interesting.
Unfortunately, our seats are separated because this thing is booked.
That's good. It makes me happy. So see you in the interval.
See you in the interval.
Yeah, so that was us. Renata, do you want to read what the National Theatre website tells us about this play?
Sure. So what the website says starts with a line from the show, and it says, "I'm falling through a world which makes no sense. An ambitious Michelin star chef, Queenie, is used to having the last word. But when her children notice gaps in her memory and her grip on reality loosening, they are faced with an impossible choice. As Raj, Gopal, and Kamala battle to recognize their lifelong duty to their mother, the ramifications of their decision take on a heartbreaking permanence."
So we open with a couple.
Yes, a woman
First. And a man.
And he is
in the body of water.
In a body of water. I guess the sea. And he's basically, they're obviously close.
Yeah.
Obviously a couple. And he's prompting her to come inside. Like saying, the water's fine, it's nice, it's so refreshing.
Yeah.
We're going to have a nice day together and we're going to do this and this. And she's reluctant and stuff.
Yeah. And then she goes in.
And she goes in. And then she is in the sea.
Yeah.
And she's just like breathing hard in and out after being submerged into water. And then we see this other man come in.
Yeah, we transform into like today. And it's her son. Yeah.
And so we kind of realized that the first part was an apparition.
Yeah.
It was a flashback or a
imagination. Yeah. So she's in the North Sea, now in the UK, basically.
And her son's like, "What were you doing out there? Like, it's freezing cold. This is not a tropical thing."
And then we move into so we see a little family scene. So all the kids are there.
Yeah. Her kids are Raj, Kamala, and Gopal.
Yeah, and Raj is the oldest. The oldest and the disappointment. He's just a teacher. Whereas Gopal, he's a successful lawyer, and Kamala is a doctor or nurse?
Yes, A&E doctor.
Yeah, doctor. So, and Raj is just like a
And they butt heads the most, obviously. We get some backstory. Basically, Raj is married, and Queenie is very biting to all her kids, really, but especially to Raj, making comments about his wife. It's clear that she doesn't like his wife at all. She is, very abrupt, very strong-headed.
We realize that she actually has some memory.
Yeah, because she's cooking, but she burnt the rice. They find a bunch of, and she's a chef.
Yeah, she's
Cooking
a Michelin
star chef, and she has a restaurant in London, a very successful.
She burned rice for a Bengali person to burn rice.
They find a bunch of burnt pans in the kitchen, and they're like, "What is happening?" Like, she never burns things, she never overcooks things, and then she brought something out for them to eat, and it was gross. Like, they didn't like it, which is like totally unlike her.
And then we see her in the restaurant.
No, she goes to the doctor first.
Oh, okay.
Kamala gets her an appointment through her connections as a physician to go get a screening for Alzheimer's.
That she feels like that's absolutely ridiculous. And, I'm absolutely fine. Maybe she was a bit stressed at work.
And just old age memory loss. And old age memory loss is different from straight up Alzheimer's.
She wasn't even like that old. She was what? 60-something? 64?
Yeah, in her late 60s, mid to late 60s, which is still pretty early for...
Then obviously there are signs... they realize that there are signs of onset Alzheimer's disease.
They realize, based on the tests, she can't complete them correctly. And she really tries to cover it up, which is very common in Alzheimer's patients in the early stages, trying to cover up their memory loss, being very strong and stuff. So then she goes to the restaurant.
Yes.
And her head chef, she gives instructions to her head chef and talks about things that had already happened.
Like months
ago, a year ago. And she finally gets an honest answer from someone outside of her family about her memory loss.
Yeah.
And her chef is like, I've been covering for you for a whole year.
Yeah.
And that's how long you've been like that. And that kind of finally prompts her to get her affairs in order, knowing that it's just going to get worse from here on out. Yeah.
So she kind of invites her family again all together, and she kind of like tells them that she's going to give them the right of attorney. Is it that
power of attorney?
Power of attorney. Yeah. So she's like still kind of in control. She tries to be.
Yeah.
Is the whole thing, but then she's kind of like, what happens then?
They go to the lawyer, they go to the citizen's advice to kind of figure out all of that, and we get a lot of information about how, even if you prepare, how messy it gets, and how you have to pre-prepare before the person basically becomes completely incapacitated and is not in the right mind or state. And at that point, she knows she has to acquiesce, but she really doesn't want to.
Yeah, it just gets a bit too real for her.
Yeah,
and then she realizes that, she still kind of, I guess, wants to hold on to a bit of dignity.
Yeah, and at this point, she's getting apparitions from the person who we realize is her deceased husband. She is seeing him. They are touching. He is talking to her. She is talking back to him. She thinks he's real. And people are asking her, are like, what are you doing? People are confused with her behavior because she lets it
slip. Yeah, she lets it slip and kind of starts talking to him in front of other people.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like,
it's a cycle
from bad to worse.
Yeah, she stays with her kids the agreement was that she would cycle between them every 4 months, but it just didn't work out. She had a falling out with her firstborn because they have had a rocky relationship for ages.
And obviously the disease itself, like it
changes your personality.
Yeah, she became even like violent with him.
Violent, mean, nasty with each of her kids. Yeah. And they couldn't do it.
They couldn't handle it.
Do it. And they made the decision. They have an auntie, their mom's best friend. And they tell her that we can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot take care of her.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
And then obviously Auntie brings in, it's like, what kind of children are going to put their mom into a home?
In our culture,
this is your duty.
That. Yeah.
You know, but obviously kids just, they can't handle it because they have their own lives. And and is this how the first?
Well, when she comes in looking for her car keys yet again, because there was a scene earlier because like she can't drive, and there's a big fight earlier about being able to drive in her car and whatever, and so she's coming in looking for her car keys yet again, and they're telling her that we're going to take you somewhere nice, and we're going to take you somewhere else, and you're going to have a good time and whatnot, and she goes wild, goes crazy, and she pulls a knife on them. She pulls a knife on them. They have to call the ambulance, and they sedate her and take her away, and that's the end of Act 1.
Yeah.
So let's listen to our thoughts
after Act 1.
After Act 1.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a choice.
Yeah, someone they're pumping incense into the foyer, which is. It smells great.
And also you can hear like the music, kind of from the show in the foyer, which is always, I really like that when that happens.
Oh yeah, I'd love to set the mood accordingly. You know, from the time you enter the front door up until you sit down.
Interval thoughts.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it because I think it's such a universal experience that everyone, if they haven't gone through it before, they're going to go through it. Because I've seen this play out multiple times in my family.
It's my biggest fear.
Oh, it's my biggest fear too. Because I know it's going to happen to me because I've seen it play out multiple times. And it's probably going to happen to me too. Because there's multiple generations of my family that have Alzheimer's and dementia.
Yeah, it's fucking
and it's just
scary.
like, oh my God, it's very scary, but real.
What's interesting as well, I think what I was thinking, in the beginning I was like, direction is just so weird.
Yeah, it took me a second to get in.
I was like,
to get
why
engaged,
are you setting the
then
table
I got it.
and then you like removing everything? I was like, that doesn't make no sense. And then when I realized it's her kind of bit by bit losing her, sense of reality, I was like, oh, this is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I have something to hate. And I was like, no,
we don't.
That was very intentional.
No, we don't. It's just, the moment of lucidity and then the moments of madness, like the back and forth and how it's just getting worse and worse. And then her thinking that she's preparing, like that she's doing the right thing by preparing for it, but then like kind of reneging on that once like her facilities starts
kind of like,
because she gets scared.
But that's very fucking real,
Yeah.
Again, I'm interested to see what's gonna be the payoff.
Yeah,
in
me
a sense,
too.
like
Me
because
too.
Again, it's a very universal experience, and like people around me were like moved to fucking tears, and probably with the lived experience of what it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, like when my grandma had it, I was way too young to, I guess, care. Like I could see like the effect it had on my dad and my mom, but I was kind of like shielded from it, so I didn't see it fully. So I don't think I was fully traumatized by it, let's say. It's all in that matter. But what's interesting for me as well, like how Gupta is like the play, because we always talk about exposition and all that. It's very expositional, but the way she does
it's perfectly expositional in an amazing way.
It doesn't annoy me. I'm
like when they went to the citizen's advice, I was like, that's how you do it. That's how you give people the information they need about what it means to take care of someone and the legal bits, because it is such a mess to do that.
Yeah.
And,
especially if you're too late.
And to prepare for it.
Yeah.
Because you have to do it ahead of time, or else it's gonna be a mess regardless.
It's horrible
but
otherwise.
even if you prepare, it's gonna be shit regardless.
No, but in general, the whole play is very expositional, like feeling-wise and everything. But the way Gupta does it, the way it's written, like normally this would upset upset me and annoy me, but the way she does it, because she's the master of the world.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, cool. Like give it to me.
Yeah. It's great so far. We'll see. I don't know what the payoff.
I would like a point of view. It's like, because now it's just like very good exercise in empathy. I guess it's like
what happens.
Yeah, what happens. It's very
the
like
steps
it's very
of
realistic
what happens.
in what happens.
The portrayal of it.
I'm interested in what's the point of view? Yeah. I don't know if there's gonna be any, and it's gonna be fine if there is.
Yeah,
to be fair,
because it's good already. And finally, something good. We've been seeing some really not good theater lately, so we're like, this is good.
Again,
we'll see how it pays off.
But we'll see, and see you after.
You've just heard calm voices of ours.
Calm, but actually also excited.
Excited and inspired.
Yes.
Well, that happens when we actually love a show. What? I thought this is We're Just Haters podcast. As we said, we're not here to hate. We have no choice because, like, we just go to see loads of theater and we don't want to hate. It just happens that we do. So
it just happens that we just keep choosing the wrong shit. Maybe that's just what it is.
Probably.
Because really what happens is we see an ad and then we book it.
This is the hot ticket. Oh, we need to see this.
It's really random.
Very random. Some of them, more important than others, but we don't discriminate.
No,
we just see like random shows. Yeah, man. And this is, I think, what we talked in last week's episode about that kind of social media-y way of writing plays. This is the exact opposite of it. This is exactly what we talked about. So I don't think Tanika Gupta is massive on Instagram.
Oh, wait, now I gotta look to see if she has one.
Well, she's in her 60s, so you never know. But that was like literally...
Oh, she sure is on Instagram.
Oh, damn.
But she's private.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I should...
So maybe she's like, her screen time is not crazy. Yeah. And also she remembers the times before social media. No, it was like a good old school storytelling, and old school not meaning dated, not meaning, boring. Or it was just like
basic, strong storytelling.
Yeah.
That's it.
Characters that we exactly know what they are. Story that we know exactly what it is. It was just great, honestly. And like all the things, it's so interesting as well, like how a lot of things that would annoy us watching other shows, like being the exposition or over the top acting, it didn't annoy us this time because the story was there.
Right.
Yeah. And I think because the way the play was crafted as well, the exposition just kind of made sense.
Yeah.
So there's definitely the right way to do it. And she's a master in it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it says something when someone, like, she's also pretty well known for her adaptations of existing work. And, she's someone who not only are her adaptations amazing, but her ones she writes from her own brain are just good as well. And it's like, some people they're weak in one, but strong in the other. But she just can write. That's just what it is.
Yeah,
she just can write.
Yeah, just the master. Also, like the director. What I was like saying in the beginning, I think that I was a bit like confused about the direction. I was like, that doesn't really make much sense. It's like, why are we laying up the table and then we like removing the food immediately? I was like, that's a bit weird blocking. And then I'm like, oh my God, that was on purpose. And I was like, brilliant.
Yes.
So and also like they used magic as well to kind of to trick our brain, which is like I really loved, because like the confusion, there was some brilliant
because bits. You have the apparition of her dead husband.
Yeah, or like quick costume changes.
Like there was a point where this man, her husband, literally crawls into the suitcase and disappears. And it's just like, a good theater moment.
Yeah, are those like a scene where like two mangoes appear in
Yes.
his, hands, and like there were so many like when the auntie's robe changed into like full dress,
Yes.
like, and everyone's like what? So it was like very subtle but very effective direction.
Yeah, especially because we're in the inside of someone's brain, but we're also in the real world. So the magic bits help enhance the cross between the two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because she's seeing things we're not seeing.
Yeah. And I love that it kind of disorientates the audience and it like lets us feel how the Queenie's character would,
Yeah.
and it definitely was like so successful, and like again, the amount of sniffles around me. This is
even
how
in
I know
Act One.
it,
This is just Act One. That the sniffles were happening.
Yeah, because it was so real. It was like so. I think that's the thing, recognizable, and I think it's interesting. I kept repeating, I want to see like the point of view. But in all fairness, like it was just a good portrayal of what it feels like to have.
Yeah, and I think
first of all to have the condition or to be, someone
caring for someone who has it. And
I
think it doesn't necessarily have a concrete message. And the thing is, like with the last episode, we were mad that it had no point of view and it did not have a concrete message.
Yeah.
This also doesn't really have a point of view and doesn't have a concrete message. It's also things happening in succession, the progression of the disease, things happening.
Yeah.
But there's still a plot.
Yeah, there's a clear story.
Yes.
Clear characters.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah.
And we are just not being told, whispered about things. We see them happening. And that's like the big, I think that's the big, and also as well, like theater's power is to sometimes, to experience or like rehearse for like things that might happen to you. Yeah. And
it can help you deal with things.
It literally can help you deal with things or like answer some questions you might have.
Absolutely.
Or even like ask you some questions you might not be ready to, give answers to. But like it's literally like rehearsal for life.
Yeah.
That's what theater at its best is.
It's performance, because life is performance. Life is rehearsal and performance.
Yeah.
We all perform in some type of way. And we all kind of rehearse in some type of way.
In all fairness, like I didn't really miss a point of view that I've been mentioning. I just wanted to try to find and hate on something.
Yeah.
And struggled. That's a beautiful, appealing.
Should we go through what happened in Act 2?
Yes. So in Act 2, we see Queenie in the home.
In the facility, yeah.
And we meet
Pavel, who's the Polish caregiver.
And basically they kind of like form a lovely connection.
Yeah.
And he doesn't talk down to her. He's like kind of, just a lovely...
Just excellent bedside manner.
Yeah.
Really knowing how to redirect her questions about things. Like when she asked, what about my husband? Yeah. And he was like, he's going to be here soon. What about my children? Oh, they'll be here soon. Have a seat.
Yeah.
What do you want for dinner? Oh, we have this and this and this available.
Yeah.
And like
he just like run with it because like she thought she was on holiday, so he kind of like ran with it without like patronizing
without patronizing and without a skip in beat. And it's a good representation of really good caregivers, really good professional caregivers,
minimizing the stress and the confusion and just and then something else happened that my heart literally sank because like she started deteriorating, and then Pavel comes back with the face shield and the mask. And I was like, fuck,
I did not realize this was going to be a COVID-19 play.
No, I didn't.
I did not know.
But then
that
I was like,
at
fuck.
all. And I was like, oh no, it's a COVID play.
Because you remember all the stories, about like people dying alone in care homes, and like if we remember like at the rate they were dying by themselves, and I was like, fuck.
Like if we're doing COVID plays, it should be like this.
Literally, my heart sank. And then we see the family and Raj with his new baby boy.
Baby boy.
standing outside the window and they're trying to tap, you know, but obviously she's not there, like she's deteriorating.
And at the same time, we're still seeing her, we're getting some more backstory about her and her husband.
Yeah.
How her husband went ahead to the UK.
Yeah.
And then sent for her after.
This is
that
how
was
we
the
opened.
top.
That was
That
the
was
first
at the top
scene.
of Act 2.
Yes.
And we get more insight into their relationship and how they wanted to have a better life, and how, you know, they had just gotten married and she didn't want him to leave her and go to the UK.
But then he was like, I'll send for you.
And he did.
Know? Yeah, and he did.
And how they struggled. And we get them like frolicking as young people, like, because it's a good representation of what happens with Alzheimer's and dementia, because it's the long-term memory is the last to go.
Yeah.
The older memories from childhood, from young adulthood, those stay.
Yeah.
It's the more recent things that go first.
And I think that was like very successful. Again, I'm sorry, we were planning to just tell you about the plot, but we liked it so much. I can't help myself from like commenting on every single bit. But anyway, and it was like a beautiful representation of like the very bleak reality and her happy inside world. Like she seemed like
outside,
she's not there.
Everyone else is suffering because she's like that.
Yeah.
But she is reliving some of the happiest times in her life with her soulmate inside her brain.
And this is how she leaves this plane of existence. So she dies, and then basically
I mean, before that, Raj visits her for the last time before she dies.
True.
And she has a moment of lucidity,
which happens usually right before.
He's trying to confront her about things she did in the past,
which is bad
like
choice,
it's like there's no point, she's not there. But she does have a moment of lucidity in which she asks him to smother her with a pillow, to kill her.
Yeah.
And he's like, I am not doing that. Why do you torture me so? I'm not doing that. You always are about you. You always think about you, about me. And he tells her, do us all a favor and die.
Yeah.
That's the last thing he says to her.
Yeah, I completely forgot that.
Yeah. And then
this is what she does.
And then Pavel comes back in.
Yeah.
And she's like totally out of it. But like Pavel explains what happens to her. He actually says, I'm going to explain what's happening to you. You know, your motor skills are going down. Your cognitive abilities are going down. You can't do the things that care for you. And then this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. And then she dies.
Kind of, yeah.
And then another magic moment.
Yes.
The blanket she has around her, on her legs. You know, he covers her with it, and then he puts it over. She gets up from the chair first as an apparition and meets her husband Omid. And she's like, where are we? And he's like, we're in the plane between this one and the next. Yeah. And then Pavel pulls the blanket over the chair, and it looks like there's a body underneath. And it's so cool.
Yeah, the magic was like,
it's just kiss.
Is this?
Love a slip of hand.
Child, what is going on? No, it was fantastic. Yeah, and then
the kids figure out what to do. Well, basically, Raj goes to the Indian consulate.
Yes.
To try to get a visa.
Yeah, because basically her last wish was she wanted to be buried, you know, in
her ashes spread in the Ganges.
Yeah. So she can, you know, kind of transition into the other plane of existence.
Yes.
According to her religion. But yeah, so he's trying to get visa to
because you have to get
ashes.
a visa for the ashes, for the person.
Yeah.
And for yourself.
Yeah.
So it's just...
So he manages to get the visa for himself.
But not for his mom, as in the ashes of his mother.
Yeah.
And it's actually really... I would say it's almost comical, because like anyone who's dealt with government visa bureaucracy can like relate to what, because like, and you need to make an online appointment. Yeah. Well, the online appointment doesn't work. Well, they told me if I come down here, I can make an appointment.
No,
like, that's the wrong information.
You need to make it online.
Yes.
But online doesn't work. Well,
it was a never-ending loop. It was kind of really funny, actually, but also heartbreaking for people, because it's like like they want to do this.
Literally,
thing,
like he was in the liminal
space.
space himself, as her mom's soul waiting for, the ashes being scattered. He's like there in this.
Why do you make it so hard?
Nine circles of bureaucracy.
Literally. And so he talks to his auntie, and his auntie is like, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but you need to make it happen.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
Get it together. You're the oldest.
Yeah. That's literally your job.
And also before this, the siblings are kind of like totally like they fucking hate each other at this point because they got into a big fight beforehand and like just disagreements and stuff, and they just
Yeah. But then we see them all in India.
Yeah, we do, on the banks of the Ganges River. And
Raj is still not there.
Raj is not there, and there's like, we can never depend on him. He's always like this.
Yeah.
And we meet their cousin, who's pretty funny as well. Their cousin, who's just like, looking
fabulous,
good. She's a fabulous cousin.
Yeah.
And their auntie is there too. And they're all just waiting for him.
Yeah.
And Raj comes finally. He's been delayed. And we find out that, he put the ashes in the luggage.
Yeah, he put the ashes into the box of mango gelato that was Queenie's favorite.
Yes.
Because obviously, like, Bengali culture and mangoes, everyone has a story where they had the best and most delicious mangoes. So it's a very kind of symbolic thing.
And we talk about mangoes multiple times in this.
I mean, it's a big thing.
And he had actually, the way he did it, he had a decoy ashes. So he put his mom in the backpack, in the mango sorbet Tupperware, and then he put some talcum powder and another one, so they would be distracted with that one.
Yeah, so seized.
So they seized that one, so he's delayed at the airport, but he finally made it with his mom in the mango sorbet container, and they all laugh about it because it's hilarious, and they know their mom would love that. And so they do the ceremony and stuff, and they sing a song, and like they say words about their mom, and then that's it. And then their mom comes out, and
we see her and her husband reunited.
And then she goes to the next plane.
Yeah.
And then that's the end.
And that's the end. And it's so pretty. Anyway, wait. Let's listen to our thoughts.
Oh, this is going to be long because we're just gushing too much.
I know. We need to relax. Remember that we are just haters.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like classical music. You know what I mean? It's like when you can know when it's going to go, and when it goes there, it's satisfying.
Absolutely.
It's the same with the end. Like, we know when it's going to go, but it's satisfying when it happens. After show thoughts. Whilst we're trying to go outside, which is quite seamless because we're not in Soho Place.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so there wasn't like a point of view about the topic.
No,
let's say it was just a very good storytelling. No, it was just very good. And hey,
and it works,
My biggest question is, it's like, because it was very expositional play. Yeah. It was like all the time. Yeah. But why wasn't this annoying? Why?
Because she's good at it. She's good at writing. That's just what it is. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
When you're good, you're good.
And
you can do that well. You can do exposition well. You can feed the audience information without them being like, okay, why are you over-explaining this to me?
Even though you are, but like, I'm like, okay, cool.
It's just the way she does it that makes it, we're getting the information without getting overloaded, without feeling overloaded.
But what is it? I need to know. Because I can't put a finger on it.
Is it because of who they have delivering said information? Like, people who would have the information are the people delivering it, not the characters.
Yeah, it feels like she kind of sneaks it in, not being like, let me tell you, but it's just, it's happening now. You know what I mean? I don't know how to even like explain it. It's just it feels like so seamless.
Oh, it just started.
Oh shit.
It just started this week.
Oh shit. It felt like it was lived in production. What the hell?
But she's a master. That's just what it is.
Tanika Gupta is amazing, but also whoever has directed
directing
it was elegant.
Very elegant.
I mean, hey, because we need to hate. Listen. But then again, it's just started, so that's why the characters are very kind of a bit overacty.
I mean, in Act 1, there was a mistake in
sound cue
in a transition between scenes.
Happens.
But I mean, it makes
that
sense.
happens.
This is literally the third performance, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy because the thing is, I was like, they were a bit like overacting for my liking, but this time around in the second act when Raj came in, to visit her, and when he was very like realistic, I was like, but that's my thing. I need a very real,
to feel it,
realistic acting to feel it.
Yeah.
Because like intellectually I felt it all the way through, but like when we actually did that, but I feel like once they actually live into this piece, it's gonna be so fucking powerful because
Even
it already
so,
is. People are all around us.
They're already
crying,
crying, sniffling. People were already crying.
But like once they actually start, not stop thinking about the lines they are doing, and
they
actually
still have over a month left of this.
Crazy.
So it's gonna be real good by the end of it.
Crazy. Go and see it. Listen, it's not gonna be like revolutionary theater, but it's like just fucking good storytelling, that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just giving it to us, giving us a good story and ending it like how it began, that same device. And you know what? We do it for a reason. We do that same pattern, starting it the same way we end it.
And that's the thing. I told Renata this is how it's gonna end, and it did, and it didn't feel like predictable.
But it hit though.
But it felt like it hit. Because it's like a classical music when you and you know where it's gonna go.
And then that climax happens.
And then it's like,
yeah, that catharsis at the end. It was just a release of she's being released. She's done. The kids are also being released. They've done this final act for their mother.
It was so beautiful, and I thought it was it didn't try to be clever.
No.
But it was just simple,
and poetic, very poetic.
Also, use of magic. Very unexpected, but there were so many magic-y bits,
mystical
disappearing,
bits,
mangoes
appearing.
And then
when he put the blanket over the
I
was like, oh my god, I missed it.
I'm telling you, the magic was so good. And it's
we love some good technical theater.
Yeah, but it's
slip of hand.
Why do we have magic in this? And I'm like, I have no idea who directed it. Well, in the studio, we're gonna know by then because I didn't read.
And now we're gonna have to track this person down and find something else that they've done.
we probably know this person because
why don't they have her on the poster? Whoever did it on the poster, that's weird.
No, we're gonna find out later. But it was low-key old school, but also elegant and beautiful
and poetic
and I was
and all those things and touching. And another aspect of it that they added was that uncertainty of never getting those answers from that person that you'll never get.
Yes.
It's that open-ended thing because you're never going to get the answer you want from this person ever.
Unless
because
you fucking
they're
ask
gone.
when you can.
Even if their body is still here, it's finished. It's done. You have to deal with it.
One thing I can hate on, I didn't care for the set design. I didn't understand it. I mean, the river, fine, but what was that air vents thing, stairs? They kind of I don't know, set was because they used the very realistic props, with tea inside and food and real food, and then set not being. I didn't understand what was the symbol.
Was it too liminal space type
but
thing?
Not liminal enough, weirdly. I don't know, liminal but not liminal enough.
Interesting.
Because I was like, why do you have air vents? And it's kind of school-like, but then it would kind of maybe signify Raj's, because Raj is a school teacher, but it's not his story in a sense. It is, but I didn't know what to make of the set, in all fairness.
I will say another cool technical theater moment is when he disappears into the suitcase.
Yeah, fantastic.
That was so
magic.
freaking good.
That's what I'm saying. Magic was great.
So
but
good.
But what do you think the set was symbolizing? Because I was a bit
I don't know. We're just in the era of blank sets.
which I love. Listen,
we are in the era of blank sets.
I always
we
said,
don't do practicals
I always
anymore.
said, like, if the story is good, we don't need the set. But it's a blank set, but it's still like it's a big blank set. There were still steps, and it was still like loads of material being used.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that red carpet around. I was kind of confused about
there
why
were
is it red?
two bit carpets, and then I understand the center one. I didn't even see that.
It was like right around the edges of it, where
I didn't even see it.
Where her husband kind of
emerged from.
He kind of like stayed there a lot of the time.
Probably I missed it because I didn't probably see it.
Yeah.
But the two carpets on the sides as well, I was like, why there? Like, middle one, I understand. It's very like Southeast Asian culture.
Absolutely.
But
I liked the stairs though. I liked it because of maybe it's because the ending with the water. That's the way like, the ending with the water.
Normally I would like them, but I feel like I don't know how to explain it. It felt too functional and too specific in order for it to be liminal. I don't know how to explain it.
Because it was clearly set up that way to make sure we can do the river at the end.
Yes, but also like air vents, so then just make steps.
Yeah.
Why it's like so specific and blue? Like
blue, I get the blue.
Okay. Yeah, but like Ganga River ain't blue.
No, it ain't. It ain't blue.
Brown.
I mean, they talked about it. And you saw all that haze they had pumping in. Okay, let's isolate every device in this place because it will go the fuck off. The fire alarm.
Not even enough haze.
Literally. That was so much haze.
More haze.
But it's fine.
More haze.
More haze.
But yeah, go see it. It's literally like good storytelling. Honestly.
And simple storytelling,
fucking
easy to follow, and just expertly done, people.
And the thing is, it's like the actors are gonna just get better. This is their like first few shows, and that's why it's
literally
a bit like
probably the third show
because they still thinking about the lines. Once they stop thinking about the lines, this is gonna be fucking incredible. Honestly, simple storytelling. Didn't miss the point of view. Didn't mind the exposition. I don't know why, but
we'll talk about it more. But this is gonna be a short episode because we like this. So
yeah, but I literally just tried to hate on the set. So, but anyway, back to you in the studio. See you later.
So as you all heard, we
didn't really hate it.
No, we didn't. And the thing is, like, it's just that because we're so random with the shows we select, it's really a mixed bag. And we see shows from the smallest theater to the biggest theater.
Yeah.
And again, it could come out however it does, but you know, we came in not knowing much, but knowing the playwright and knowing that what she does is good, and it delivered.
Yeah. And also I feel like it was much needed because like we were so close of losing faith in new writing in general.
Because even shows that haven't, we've seen other shows together in the last couple of weeks that we didn't make a podcast episode about because they've been so bad that we just didn't feel the need to talk about it. Except for it was bad. We don't have much to say.
Exactly. So I think we mentioned before, like if we talk about the play, it means like it had maybe enough merit for us to talk about it for like an hour, you know?
Yeah.
So but this one, it was much needed, I think, in our journey.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things seemed quite grim. when it comes to new writing.
This is the best thing I've seen since we saw Next to Normal.
Yeah.
And I've probably seen at least 5 shows since then.
Yeah. I mean, I've mentioned like Waiting for Godot was great, but it's Waiting for Godot. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? You can't
But this is a good new play.
Yeah. Yeah.
A good new play.
And I think that's the thing, as we talked in the previous episode, that when people trying to be too clever or too current or too whatever, it just rarely works.
Like, and it's not going to age well.
This play is timeless. Again, people are going to have these issues like for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. And even like it's universal. It kind of talks about very universal ideas. It really kind of, I think, questions, what it is to actually be a human being. And, when you cease to essentially exist, like
when your body is still here
and your
mind is gone.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
And I think that is interesting duality. I think we saw of her, not being in this kind of realm of existence, not really existing, but like thriving in that kind of memory or like, I don't know, imagination plane, you know, because like she kind of got more and more vivid when she deteriorated in this plane of existence.
Because at first it was him being around when other people were around, but then in Act 2 it would just be him and her, and that's it. So it was beautiful. As we said, as it goes on, it's gonna become stronger and stronger, because it was just a third performance, so like we could maybe like slightly feel that actors maybe still thinking about the lines, even though it wasn't apparent, but the acting is gonna become even more stronger, grounded with
even
the repetition.
More, and also with like kind of, once you let go of the text and kind of like just
you can do your thing.
You can do your thing, and you can listen to one another. So it's really, it was powerful already, you know. So it's gonna just become better.
So anyway, everyone, go see it.
It's a great
piece of theater. Come on now.
I know.
Like,
listen, I'm sure we're gonna go back to our usual program of hating in the next episode, but we had to have a little respite from all the
and again,
hating.
it's randomly selected. Like, it's very random the way we select these shows. We don't know what we're walking into. We may read the synopsis. It may be a show we've seen before in other iterations, but like,
we never know.
We never know.
We never set out to hate.
We literally plan it not that far in advance from when we're seeing it, like a week.
Yeah,
max.
Something like that. We messy, like we literally.
We're
messy.
Spontaneous.
Yes, exactly. Spontaneous.
Love that. Spontaneous with
we're just like
selection.
Whimsical like that. We just kind of go one day national, next day
Saturday evening. Okay, let's do Wednesday night. Literally.
Yeah. So anything can happen, and very glad we stumbled upon this one.
Yes.
Go and see it. See you next week for the usual program.
Because I mean, it's Russian roulette. Because there's a high likely we're gonna hate whatever we decide to see next. So
we're gonna try.
Again, I'm gonna put another call out there again for the second time. Let's be friends. If you want to comment. If you want to send us a message,
even if you don't want to, please do, because like
we don't know who you are.
It's like Russian bots that listening to our podcast, because like nobody is talking to us.
We already said one is my sister, and then one is Rasa's mom,
which like she doesn't even like speak English, but she has loads of things to say.
Maybe
which
she
I love.
Puts it on when she's doing housework or something.
Yeah, I mean this is fantastic. She's just like, and I'm talking about like some crazy stuff.
She's just like, oh, that's my daughter.
I'm so proud.
Support.
I love it. Please support us. Let us know if you're not Russian bots. Hey, see you next time.
Bye.